Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Choose a Vi Daily Show. We're bringing this to you 5 days a week, talking about updates with regards to COVID-19 and maybe in particular looking at this from the perspective of someone on the path to financial independence. To help me with this, I have my co-host Brad here with me today. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Jonathan. Yeah, I'm doing quite well. Just obviously trying to go day by day here and just try to come up with strategies to, just live our best life, just like always, right? That's really the interesting thing about this is, while it seems like everything has changed, and obviously a lot has, like at the heart, we're trying to live our best life and just trying to optimize and figure out what works and save money. And I mean, even just like little random things. Like I was thinking about like ways that I save money that some people don't even think about. Like every single time that we purchase something online, essentially other than at Amazon, I search for a coupon code for that retailer. And I know this sounds silly. Like to a lot of people who do this, this is just like one of those, oh, of course you do that. But so many people I find like don't even do this. So like every single store I shop, even when we're buying a pizza from like Papa John's, this was a couple of weeks ago, but I would just search Papa John's coupons and a whole bunch, Retail Me Not, Coupon Cabin, all these different sites show up, and there might be some coupons that work, some that don't, and you just kind of keep trying. Like I look at it as like this fun little experiment, and obviously I'm not wasting a half hour trying to find $1 off coupon at Papa John's, but like if I can just do that in a minute or two, and like I've seen this work at retail sites that I get 10, 20, 30% off just for that simple Google search. So just these tiny, tiny little strategies. Again, like we think about FI as this aggregation of marginal gains, right? Like just improving in these tiny little 1% ways in life. And like, to me, this is an example of a 1% improvement that really can make a difference over time.
It's funny. I'm one of those people that are like, somebody doesn't do that? Everybody has to do that. And you're totally right. It's like a scavenger hunt for adults because like 70% of the coupons don't work, but there will be one that does. And I will find it.
Yeah, isn't that fun? It's like the best feeling in the world when it finally hits and it's like, yes, your coupon has been approved, 18% off or something.
It's like a coupon that says spring 2017. You're like, that won't work. Oh, yeah? Very cool. So diving right into it, like finding routines. I've been recently getting obsessed with David Goggins clips. He just recently, there was a book released called Can't Hurt Me. And it's this guy that just found this incredible amount of willpower and basically transformed the human being that he was to who he wanted to be, and just went through this remarkable physical and mental transformation. I mean, it's incredible. And he's a motivational speaker now. He's a fitness guru. I mean, all these different sorts of things. But at its core, this clip that really stuck with me was he's just in his living room. The audio quality isn't like particularly great, but he's just kind of like talking to the video camera. And he's basically saying, like at a time like this where you're going into isolation, it's not just a physical thing, it's a mental game as well. And what I would encourage you to do is if you're going to go into isolation from a mental place, come out the other side a savage. Use this opportunity to lean into new routines. And I was kind of pairing that with the miracle of the YouTube algorithm, and it was showing me a Joe Rogan clip, and he was talking to someone that had been around this guy for like 30 days. And the guy was sharing a story about how David Goggins like got him, took him out to go do a pull-up bar, and Goggins tells him to do, like 100 pull-ups. And the guy's like, well, I can't do that. He's like, well, do as many as you can. And the guy did like 4 or 5. And then it's like, all right, get up there again. And did another 2 or 3. And he's like, and then he couldn't even do another one. And Dave was like, all right, well, we're going to stay here until you get 100 done. They stayed there for hours and they got the 100 done. And it just struck me that like in a time like this where you can't do anything you just want to do, maybe do something you don't want to do. Maybe do something that sucks, but just lean into it from a place of, you've always had these excuses saying you never have any time. You're too busy in life. You're not busy right now. All you have is time. What's that one thing that you should do, you've wanted to do, but you just get in your own way? Do that. And that was kind of cool. And that's kind of what I'm using this opportunity for, just kind of as a physical challenge. Like I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna do 100 pull-ups. game on, you know, like, or you're like, well, I can't run for more than 5 minutes at a time. What if you ran for an hour? What would that look like? What if you ran for two? Like, how far can you push yourself, you know, in this kind of environment? What if this was an opportunity to build your mental stamina, your inner game? So David Goggins, you're inspiring me right now. So I'm stepping it up.
That's awesome. Yeah, we can do so much more than we think in every aspect of life, right? Like we have that kind of internal governor that helps kind of maybe stop us. Yeah, and MK, I'm sure you can relate to this with your experience as a runner, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a challenge, but it's rewarding. And I will say every time I step up to the start line of a race, I just think, why in the world did I do this? I want to be asleep. I want to be warm. I'm cold. Like there's a bunch of people around. And then I finish and I'm in pain. And 2 seconds later, I'm like, okay, let's do that again. So it's one of those challenges where you feel the reward in just doing it and saying, I did it. There's no reason for me to run that distance. There's no reason for me to get up at that time. I could get up hours later and just run it on my own. But there's something about doing it and setting that task and getting it done that's really transformative. And if you can use this time to set an ambitious goal, maybe not running outside or running and doing other things, but if you can use this as a time to challenge yourself, you know that you're taking it on, you know that you're doing something important to yourself, and you're going to feel that transformation. And I get the runner's high from it. You know, they talk about it. It's real.
That's awesome. And Brad, I know I see you doing this with your family as well. You like using this opportunity. Like you can't go to the CrossFit box. It's not right now. That's not happening. But I know that the instructor there has put together some incredible workouts and really been there for for her community. And I see you guys doing these workouts at home.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Jen and Tim at West End CrossFit here in Richmond have just been amazing. And yeah, I mean, we have been able to do this in our own garage. And that's the cool thing about, like, you look at a problem a little bit differently. Like, sure, we don't have all the gear that we would have if we were at the gym, but you have your body weight, right? You can do push-ups and squats and burpees and pull-ups and all sorts of different things. And you can run, obviously. Like, yeah, we are now doing a family workout 6 days a week together. And I mean, it's awesome. Like, again, you talk about looking at the bright side. So we just found out about an hour ago that our schools are going to be closed for the rest of the year. And, Anna, my 11-year-old, instead of being like, oh man, I'm not going to see my friends for 5 months, her first thought was, how many days is that? And how many workouts can we do as a family now? Like, how freaking cool is that? She's like, wow, we have 150 days. Like, with a day of rest each week, we can do 130 CrossFit style workouts as a family. And like, what a cool way to make, take lemons and make lemonade out of it. Like, I just love that.
That's what I hope. I hope people in this community, like, we're able to roadmap out what we're going to do from a financial perspective. And then we're able to kind of set that aside, not panic about it, not freak out about it, realize that it's going to be okay. It's going to work out. We're not just cordoning it off and not thinking about it, but we're also not giving in to fear. And then in the meantime, with the space that opens up for us, we take this opportunity to work on our inner game. And what we will try to do for you here at Choosify is keep sharing information that can serve you and help you along the next several months along this journey. And I thought what we could do right now, let's pivot over. Clearly, a lot of stuff is shifting underneath us. A lot of things that have always been are now moving around. And one of them is tax deadlines. All this affects all of us. So let's talk about it. MK, what do you got for us?
Well, Sean, the FI tax guy, called in and gave us some updates. Now, he did call in over the weekend. So we're airing this on March 25th. We're recording this on March 23rd. And Sean sent us this voicemail over the weekend. So just take this advice with a grain of salt, knowing when it was recorded. We're going to make sure we get you the most up-to-date information as well. But here's what Sean had to tell us.
And to show you how dedicated we are to getting the most up-to-date information, I think Sean has re-recorded this 3 times because new information kept coming out after he released it. So if it changes in between the 23rd and the 25th, I'm sorry. We'll update you next time. All right.
Hi, Brad and Jonathan. Sean Mulaney calling in to update the audience about 2019 tax returns and tax payments. On Friday, March 20th, the IRS came out with official guidance, and it turns out all 2019 individual tax returns and individual income tax payments are now due July 15th. The April 15th deadline has been moved to July 15th, and everyone gets that deadline now, even if you do not file an extension form. So this is very welcome news. Gives folks a little more time to think about more important things in their lives than their tax returns and still have time to get their tax returns in on time. If you have completed your tax return and you're showing a refund due to you from the IRS, as long as that return is complete and accurate, go ahead and hit submit. Get that tax refund processing so you get it sooner rather than later. But for those of you who have completed your tax return and are showing a balance due to the IRS, there is an action item. And the action item is this: wait. Do not file that tax return in the next few days. The reason I say that is because with the extension of the payment date to July 15th, tax return software companies need time to update their software so that when you submit the return, the payment out of your bank account goes to the IRS on July 15th. I'm concerned that if people submit their tax returns in the next few days before the tax return software has been updated, the money is going to come out of your account on April 15th. We don't want that to happen. You are now entitled to an interest-free loan from the government until July 15th. So hold off on filing balance due to the government tax returns for at least a little while longer so we can be sure that tax return software has been updated and you make your payment to the government on July 15th. I'll be blogging at my website, fitaxguy.com, about updates to all this. Know that the states are also, most of them are working on delays. My home state, California, has already delayed tax return deadlines and tax payment deadlines to July 15th. Other states have already done that, and other states are already in progress. So that is something to look out for as well. Hope everyone's doing well, and all the best to everybody during this challenging time.
So, Brad, there's a lot of great information there, and I certainly concur with Sean's assessment that if you can wait, take that interest-free loan and wait.
Yeah, Sean nailed it. But right, obviously, if you're getting a refund, there is no reason to not file that return. So if the return is done, get that thing filed so you get that money in hand as soon as possible. So yeah, that pretty much covered it. Another thing we've been emailing with him back and forth on relates to the 2020 estimated tax payments. And there's still some up in the air right now here. And this is evolving. So as of right this minute, what we know is that quarter one estimated payments actually got pushed back to July 15th. But oddly, quarter two estimated payments are still due their normal due date of June 15th, which is actually a month earlier, right? So that is completely illogical. And Sean followed up and said there's a new Senate bill that would push not only Q1 and Q2, but Q3 estimates all being due on October 15th, but that is not finalized. So as he said, the estimates are very much a quote, stay tuned. So we will keep everyone updated, but at the very least, the quarter one estimated payment is not going to be due until July 15th. So the first estimated payment as of right this minute that you have to make is Q2 on June 15th.
That's perfect. And as for your interest-free loan, where are you keeping that? I highly recommend that you keep any large sums of money that you're sitting on in cash in a high-yield savings account. And everyone, if you're looking for a high-yield savings account, if you're looking for a place to store large sums of money, not your month-to-month cash flow, check out CIT Bank. It's an online high yield savings account. It's actually the savings account that I use, that Brad uses. It's a phenomenal account that's offering incredible rates. I can't believe how good the rate is in current market environments. It's a 1.75% APR. And if you are in need of an emergency fund and simultaneously you want to support the show, give it a shot. choosefy.com/CIT. All right, MK, I'll give you the platform. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how all the taxes whittle out. I think that's the one part of adulting that I always just look forward to getting done every year, and knowing that it's extended and certain things are up in the air for the quarterly. I'm just like, with everything else going on, this is the last thing I needed, was to extend my tax woes of, is it done? Is it not done? Can I cross it off my to-do list? But I know we were talking about our athletics earlier, and I thought taxes, the other endurance sport. So that's about how I feel about taxes right now. I just want to get it done, get it over with, and this delay is just adding on to all the other stress. So we'll see what happens.
You're so right. There's not been a single, as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, I keep thinking that one of these years I'm just going to be really good at it. Like, I got this. And every year I'm like, oh. But anyways, I got Brad watching out for my back there. So it all works. So thanks, buddy.
Oh, you bet. You betcha.
All right, everyone. I just wanted to make one note, and this is really kind of a community pitch here. Because we are such a large group, the financial independence movement, because there are so many people that consider themselves on this path, and because we have this network of local groups, well over 300 local groups all around the world, I think the world needs us right now, and in a very specific way, in a very timely way. As you know, there's a pandemic that's spreading across the globe, and really the people that are in the front lines of this are healthcare workers. And I can't believe I'm saying this. It's very sad to have to say this, but they have no protective equipment, especially here inside the United States. There is no, I guess they do not have the mask that they need. There's a shortage. And while even a week or two ago, hospitals were basically saying you can only use the ones that we give you, hospitals realize they don't even have those. And there are literally medical professionals that are wearing T-shirts over their faces, that are wearing air filters over their faces, that are coming up with anything because they have nothing. They have nothing. And they are they are trying to protect us, take care of the sick, but they don't have the basic protection that they need. And they're asking for our help. And I think that we potentially could have some level of impact. And there's a bunch of different ways of what that might actually look like. And so we've kind of started to aggregate that. And Brad, what can we do?
Yeah, so Ed put together an incredible resource here at choosefi.com/masks. So it's MASKS, choosefi.com/MASKS. And it looks like he has at least 11 different options of potential sources of donations or other ways to procure these masks to get them in the hands of the people that need them, our doctors and nurses and medical professionals all across the country. So this is the most important thing we can do right now. So if we can come together and help in some way as a community, I think this is really, really important. And Ed jokingly put, this page was hastily built to meet an urgent need. Apologies for being rough around the edges, but the important part is an urgent need. So if you can help in any way, let's do it. choosefi.com/masks.
All right, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us on this continuing coverage, this daily show, Monday through Friday. We're going to get through this. We are. And in the meantime, we're going to do our best to provide you resources to help you on this journey. Thanks for joining us as we continue to go down the road less traveled.